Just gonna warm up using my just getting a good tone. So this is stuff I make you guys do all the time. Just sitting there. I did my nails last night, so I don't have to check them. I'm being very precise with it. I hit string one, off and off and off and off. Same thing. Go to the middle finger, off and. This middle finger is a lot shorter today. Yesterday I did too much. Just have to be careful that I find the right spot. So I'm just off and off and off and. I'm not completely happy with it, but it's a little shorter, so I'm just gonna have to do. I noticed some of you guys when you're practicing, and I go, you have a darker sound, you have a bright sound, and I try to make you go darker. You move your hand. Don't move your hand. Just kind of move it on. Just keep it about right here, because you can get a darker sound anywhere. That's a pretty good sound right there. Then you have ring finger. It's real good right there. You can see, because I'm watching, so you have to watch your pinky, that this doesn't get too much like that. You can already see it's too tense. And I'm not playing very hard today, right now. My fingers and joints are a little stiff since it's colder today. If there are any questions, you can always ask. Then I go into my short, prep, 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 prep. So I'm isolating and working on this hand. I'm trying to pay attention when I'm playing, not just what I'm doing, but how I'm doing it. Like, I'm not, you don't hear. If you have a lot of tension and you just hear that clack, 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 like you got to go back and you got to work on your right hand. Then I go to the next string. You're gonna hear like tiny little overtones that, like right here, like a high pitch. That's just because the other strings are, like, guitar's super sensitive. You hear tick tick just a little bit. I can hear it. But you're watching the fingers, like I'm making sure that it's just moving. Kind of moving my fingers. And watch that your wrist or your arm is kind of aligned. So you want it aligned. I know sometimes I'll see you guys right there. No, man. I just go back and forth between the treble strings. If I need to slow down, I can slow down. But I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Once I know this hand is warmed up, I'll also go and try doing my left hand. So I'm gonna pull this down a tiny bit. So still 4 slow, 8 doubled. And then I do chromatic here. Now I'm taking my hand completely off to show you that it's open. And then I go to the next string. 4 slow. Notice how my arm comes. I include it. I'm going. Let it move. It's also good to practice playing lighter. This tempo that I'm at, I have to be careful not to be too tense. When you're doing your pinky, you can kind of see that there's a slight rotation from here, and then there you have curvature right there. It is not this. Fingers never like straight. It's not. See how my arm stays there? You'll never have a strong pinky. And you're actually practicing to be very rigid. So that's why you see me when I'm playing. It's kind of like dancing. You want to flow. You don't want to look awkward. And then first string. Right now, my focus is just to get the fingers warmed up. It's not trying to play absolute fast. I'm watching the shoulder too, so it doesn't get super tight. Once I feel like really good warmed up, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm just going to push myself a tiny bit. Kind of stop a little bit. There's tension in my knees. I can feel it. I feel like my knees are going, and so you just got to watch when you're playing, especially the chromatic stuff. You might have to move. I notice when I move, I don't lock up. So that's warming up, doing the 4 slow, the 8 doubled. Another thing I'll do is odds. So 3s or 5s. IMI. So I'm going to put my metronome on. Let's see. Metronome. I'm going to put it like on, I don't know, 67. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm rushing it. You can practice going 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But know that you start and you end on that the same finger. So IMI, and then the next that would be MIM. But put a pause in between there. So you're on. That pause allows you to kind of just take a break. So again. See how these fingers are kind of really relaxed. And I'm going to go back to the way I was doing. So I'm hitting 3rd string, and I'm just working on this so this becomes automatic, my fingers. I'll go to the next string. I highly encourage to do it slower. I'm just kind of pushing myself right now. So again. No, it goes 1st string. It's very staccato almost. Make sure you pay attention to the body. I kind of again, I make it a game. I try to play it as fast as I can just to see, okay, dig it. Just trying to get as fast as I can. I was slow on the M. Now you notice I'm doing something different. Again, I've told you guys my index finger is a lot shorter. So what I do is I tilt when I want to kick butt with the index. So I'll just, so it reacts a little easier because it evens out my fingers. And then when I do this way, I kind of favor the M. So the M's just doing this and the index is not having to work as hard. So, oops. I'm doing drastic changes so you can see it. And there's like professional guys who do this who, like, when they really want to cook, they're having to just do these tiny tweaks in order to keep up. You're stopping on that diamond. That 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you try doing 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oops. So I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M. So I'm getting ready to do scales. That's why I'm kind of working on these odds. And then 5s. I forgot what I was going to start with. Know what you're going to start with. So don't just try to play. Know that if you're going to start on I, then you intentionally start on I. Don't go, I don't know what I started with. So 1, then M, I, M. It's even nice to say it. M, I, M. And then 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Digga digga det. Digga digga det. You have to hear it before you play it. Digga det. Digga digga det. I, M, I, M. Different string. I don't think you noticed that. A little bit that was kicking up. I had to kick it down. Oops. You notice sometimes I'll ramp. That's okay. That's working on some kind of music idea of like just dynamics, you know, crescendoing. That's good. But it's also gassing you out because you're starting with very little energy, and then by the time you do the last one, like it's a lot of energy, digga digga da, and you might end up slowing down. So I try to make it like very soft. I, M, M, I, M, I, M. Okay. And then you can also work on, I've been doing free stroke this entire time for the past 20 minutes. Now it's breaststroke. I'm gonna focus on I. Just do threes. I'm watching my pinky. It's kind of sticking out a bit. It's all right hand stuff. Then I'm going to kind of go into scales. I'm going to first do it just ba, 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 8 notes. So you saw when I first started, I did free stroke, and then I slipped into rest stroke. So you want to be able to do your rest stroke and your free stroke that you can change without thinking about it. So here's rest stroke. I'm going to go to free stroke. For the most part, the sound didn't change. Everything's been legato. Now to work on my prepping, shorter. That's how you get to play faster, because that's harder to talk and play. In order to play faster, you need to work on prepping. You notice, like, watch my body as I'm playing. Like, I'm trying to involve. Like, as I get towards the first string, I start kind of giving in. So just watch as I do. I'm going to go A melodic minor. So when I get closer to here, my body's kind of down, shoulders there. When I start coming backwards, I'm doing a different scale. I kind of start turning over here so my pinky can be, it has more room to work. So. There, I go down. Rest stroke. Again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. Bum, 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 bum. Now I'm kind of messing around with threes. So this is a good workout. I get to play one note for a long time in the left hand, but the right hand gets to kind of work out. Make sure you kind of like take breaks, stretch your legs out, because you're having to stay in this position for a while. So there I was doing 4 notes to a click, and I'm at 67, so that's pretty good. Normally I top out at 100, but I'm just warming up. Breaststroke. B minor, minor. This is my favorite one because it covers quite a bit. So. B minor is always fun. Then I'm just going through the cycle of fifth or Segovia scales. I did C, I did A minor, I did G, I did E minor, I did D, I did B minor, and I'm going to do Switch back. Missed a note. Didn't like that. Better. Let's see. As I'm going through these, I'm switching between rest stroke and free stroke. I'm making sure that I'm involving my body and that I'm not too tense when I'm playing. Just did see, one thing. Almost missed that one. Almost missed that one up here because my body was up here when I was trying to play. That's not good. Kind of want to, fall with the instrument. I realize when I'm stiff, I'm trying to stay like up straight. I'm doing this. There's a little bit of tension right here. This feels weird. Like it's just too tight. So I have to kind of. Switch. And then there I did messed up because I didn't know if I was going to continue. I would go through the entire, all the scales until I get back to C in the cycles. But I'm going to go ahead and push it up a little bit So when you're warming up, especially scales, figure out what's your goal. Are you trying to just get your fingers kind of going a little bit? Are you trying to really get these to go automatic so you're not thinking with both hands? I'm gonna do the F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's kind of take your time in between each. I'm at 80 right now, so. Okay. My fingers aren't like super warmed up. Fingertips are cold, but it's not like dangerous. Like when this side's cold, I have to kind of make sure that I'm massaging and then just getting that circulation. So I just did F sharp, D sharp, C sharp major, or D flat. Now all of a sudden I just kind of took a break and I went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I did threes because I'm about to start pushing myself even more. Oh, messed up right there. So I'm gonna do it again. What happens there is I messed up. I didn't look at my spot that I had to land on. If you're not looking, you're always gonna mess up. So oops. Sloppy. So when you start having problems, mistakes, kind of stop. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just kind of go, okay, it was. Don't say a mistake because that can mentally mess you up. Just say, oh, I slipped up here, but I slipped up because I was just getting sloppy in my left hand. So just I wasn't ready for those shifts, So I have to make sure when I'm shifting, it's coming with me. You notice I'm starting to play a little softer, so I could just kind of move both in the left hand, because the left hand has to move, so you have to play lighter. You can't squeeze down as hard. And then my right hand, I'm just very lightly. Again. Better. One more time for redemption. Try not to get stuck in a loop. So I'll go through all the scales, and sometimes I'll try to do to my max. The past 2 weeks I've been trying to do my max, which is 100. But I'm going to kind of just stop at 80. That way I can show you some other stuff that I work on. I go and I look at my Giuliani studies, the right hand studies. So I'm just going to kind of go through like the first one. Second one. You can see I'm always prepping in my right hand. So that was like number 2 again. Here's number 3. And you've got to watch my playing very carefully. Like on number 2, my hand's a little straighter. On number 3, I did this. Slightly just turning my hand. That's again for me. You need to first master like getting in the middle. Once you get in the middle, then you can start slightly tweaking. But if your fingers are, you can see my middle, the index of my middle, it's drastically different. If you don't have that, then you wouldn't have to worry about doing that. So I did number 3, and then I go to 7. Make sure you have it in your head. Triplet, 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 triplet. Ears. Going to number 9. I do them about 2-4 times. Then I move on to 25. So 25. Make sure you get it in your head before you play it. Whoops. Oops. So this is very important. I took the tempo a lot faster than I should have because I realized it in the middle of it started tensing up. Sometimes you may have to play first and go, okay, that's what it is. Because these are 16th notes, the other ones were like triplets. So my tempo is not going to be the same on 25 as it is in 9 or 7 because you have to fit a lot more in here. So repeat it. Six. Doing 28. As you do this, something to note. So the first measure is always playing a C chord. The second one's always playing a G7. I only hold the C down when I have to hear it. So like right here, I'm going, and on this beat, now I'm going to play the 4th string. I'm going to take the pressure off of here. I'm not going to lift it, but I'm going to take the pressure off. That way I'm not wasting energy when I don't need to. So like, down, You can see in the next one. Kind of just saving my energy for when I need it. Here's 29. Right now, I'm just warming up through them, going through 31, because I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of kick them up a little bit. 31. Take a break. Take a break. Hold on real quick. I'm going to let my dog outside. He wants to go outside. outside. Let's go. All right, back. So 35 now, 35. This one's a little tricky one. It's a pretty good one. That 35 is an excellent one to work on your ring finger because it has double ring finger almost back to back. It has P-A-M-A. So I like that one. And the nice thing about these is take any chord progression that you want, have fun with it, but use these finger patterns. So it doesn't have to be the same strings as long as you're doing the same pattern. Oops. So that was me doing 35, and I'm just playing to the D minor, A minor, E. If you like that. What was it called? Can't remember that Antonio Banderas movie. And then I go and work on number 81. So and then I'm gonna go back and try it again. I won't go through all of them. I'm just gonna go through a few of them. What I want to do now is, when I'm working on it, I want to pay attention to what my thumb is doing, and that you're kind of, instead of going very mechanical and separated, we want to see the overall dig it down, dig it down, dig it down. Just kind of being a little bit more musical with it and seeing the forest versus just seeing that one tree. So, and you can see that I kind of just, I'll do like a burst first. That one felt like I was still thinking of parts. So that means I forgot what this was. That one you want to hear boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum. That one's boom bum boom. What is it? It's just trying to get it all, understanding that you're gonna have to push it, and it's one idea rather than tiny little parts. So that's 9. Feel over here and a little bit right here tightening. But again, I take a break so it doesn't get horrible. Then you start really working on 25. That means your thumb really needs to know where it's going. There's times when people play and they're very stabby. This exercise gets your thumb to be thinking ahead. So I've done a few of these. I'm going to go and warm up on another piece. I'll use a piece to kind of warm up. This is Giuliani studying E minor, Opus 48, number 5. Yep. What is this? Try it again. Where am I at? Okay, I'll try it again. So. Keep missing something. What is that? That's what it is. Try it again. Saw what I was missing. So that's a good little warm up to look at. And then, I mean, you can kind of work your way through pieces. I'll show you a piece I'm working on, and I have to work on this for bow. This is a Schubert piece, Franz Schubert. The music's Schubert, but the lyrics are by Ludwig Railstab. So before I do, I'm gonna let my dog in. Make sure he's not a popsicle. Yeah. Switch dogs out real quick. You want that? So, all right. Make sure you guys have a music stand when you're practicing. I'm just using a box. Kind of just slowly go through this. Kind of. So this is an interesting piece because there's so much that's going on. Like, it's the same thing over and over. Dogs are fighting. It's the same thing over and over. I'm gonna let the other one in real quick. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's go. All right, so this one is this piece I'm doing with a vocalist, and you see I'm doing like staccatos in the right hand. It kind of helps the vocals and the lyrics come through, you know, the melody that he's singing and the words. When I was working on this, I was thinking 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 1 take, 2, but I know I can hear now what they're paying attention to. They're listening to the da 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 off and da da off and da da off. So da 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 da. So I'm gonna try that again to get the tempo. 1 da 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 ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Ready and here. I'll do that again. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba. So I'm gonna try that again. starting on measure 17. Just getting on the idea of it. If I focus on making 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, it kind of takes away from the musical idea, so that oops, that was a tricky one. Am I gonna play it this fast? Heck no. But it's kind of good to push at that. Because if I take that, it's about 85. Take it about 78. And there's that's the section I'm always working on, and then for sure taking the second ending. I know the second ending is a little tricky, so it's just about working on it. Second ending. Then here's so you can see the first 45 minutes or 30 minutes, it was nothing but working on right hand stuff. That way, when I'm working on music, I'm not having to work on the technical stuff. It's just working on music. I'll always work on it just a tiny bit, and then I'll go and look at something else. Like something I should be working on is play this one for you. Oops, I didn't change the page on that. So it's just running through it first, going okay, and then it's about working on like getting it to be musical. So like this works in 2 phrases. Oh, I didn't tell you. This is Danza Brasilia by Jorge Morel, or Brazilian Dance by George Morel. It's a little samba. It's a fun little piece just to work on, though. So I'm really working on the thumb and also working on the phrasing that it it's a kind of crescendo. Ah, brain was trying to figure out fix it or be musical. So we'll try it again. Start from the. So I'm trying to make sure my thumb comes out. Thumb got stuck. Ah, that was a fingering issue. Didn't like that. It's that turnaround. Let me put my metronome on. Boom. Take that a little bit. There's that thing I'm not liking on that turnaround. It's doing that. It's just listening to my ring finger. My ring finger needs to prep, otherwise I hear sounds real teethy. If I'm not prepping, if I am prepping, it sounds really good and it feels really good. So it's just kind of working that out. So if I do that. Oops, that was wrong fingers. ba do ba doom, ba do ba bum. So you have to sit and also like work on just singing it. Ba do ba da ba do ba doom ba do ba doom bum ba da ba 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 bum. I was doing the wrong one. Gotta remember that too. It's not. So. Doing slow. Just to know my fingerings too. Make sure you write your stuff down. My brain's trying to do different fingering there. So it's just going. It's trying to do like a. But it has to be arpeggio. It's weird. Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong note. Okay. Let me write this down real quick before I forget. That's an I, and that's an I. Write down your fingers. That way you get it real good. Saw what I was doing. I was reading the wrong part. Also, I was putting the wrong finger in the wrong spot. That's it, see? Speed it up. Sometimes I'm wanting to play an M there, but it's I. Ah, see, I did it there. That's why these recordings are good, because then you start to go, what the heck am I doing? I may have missed this a lot when I played, and I didn't know why. Now I know it's because I've been reading the wrong. I've been trying to put the finger in my mind mentally, but if I just write it down, I can just read it. So that's pretty much kind of warming up into stuff. You saw that I spent quite a bit of time warming up, which is good. And then, slowly start working on your music stuff. You can also scales, music, arpeggios, music, scales, music. Like, you can kind of interweave it like that. But I just find my right hand and my left hand kind of feel a lot better once I go through this whole process. So, I mean, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I don't know. Hopefully you guys are practicing. Spend your time doing that stuff. And if you have any questions, Ask me. I think I'll call that good for today. Unless there's anything else. Oh, one more thing. Sometimes I'll practice like M-A-M-A-M-A. So I use old pieces to warm up. It's an old piece. I don't know the rest of it. But that is El Colibre by Sagredas. That's a good little piece. Look it up. Have the music, but like I said, it's a good index and middle. And you notice, like, use your other fingers. When I first learned that piece, I did this for the most part. Sometimes that, but I feel like I can kind of move, and then you can work with the ring and middle. That one. Sometimes I'll do tremolo as a warm up. fun little piece to warm up with. Once you've fully warmed up, then you can go and do that stuff. All right, well, I think I call it good. Go practice.